right, welcome back to Mediocre Sports Talk, courtesy of Daniel Marino. Today I'm once again joined by my brother John.
I prefer to be called the Cerebral Assassin.
Okay, so we're really putting the mediocre in sports talk today. Today we'll mainly be discussing my art, that is the 6-part series I made on the 10 worst sports cities in North America. It took me a long time to write. A lot of research, but it was a lot of fun writing, and I'm pretty proud of it. Are you proud of it?
I think it was pretty good. I don't like to toot your own horn quite often, but I have to admit when something's good, it was good. There's some things I would have changed, but I guess we'll get to it.
Yeah. What do you mean toot your own? Like you don't want to toot my horn? Is that
your horn? Okay. I love tooting my horn.
You said toot your own horn.
Your own horn, not my horn.
Why would you say? Why would you just say toot your horn?
It's not grammar class.
Toot your own horn. All right. So yeah, let's just get into it. What did you think about the list?
The list was good. A lot of it you can't deny. Buffalo, I think that's a layup.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer. Buffalo.
Toronto's there. I definitely agree with that. Like the top half or bottom half, I guess, of the list was pretty well, maybe give or take a couple of them, but it was pretty well where I would have had it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have any trouble with the top 4 besides, like I said in the article, I wasn't sure whether to put Cleveland ahead of Toronto or vice versa, but I even with Cleveland's title last year, the Browns are so bad, and everything Cleveland has been so bad for so long.
Yeah, but Indians beat the Jays.
Yeah, and
Cavs beat the Raptors
twice. Yeah, no, I put that in there. It's just when you really okay, Cleveland has 3 teams, right? One of them, they're almost the entirety of their franchise success has come because of one player. If you look at their history in years without LeBron James, it's abysmal, right? And then the Browns are the worst franchise in North America.
What do you mean? Paul DiBattista.
Okay? The Browns are the worst franchise in North America. The Indians have the biggest drought in the MLB right now, right? Yeah.
World Series wise, yeah.
Yeah, they have the biggest World Series drought in the majors. And even back with Cleveland, look at what's happening right now. Like, you have Kyrie wanting out, and we'll talk about that later. And if LeBron leaves again, which I think he will, can you imagine?
He is gone. I'm already signing his contract somewhere else. He's gone.
The worst thing that ever happened to Cleveland was LeBron leaving the first time, and now it's probably going to happen again.
Yeah, but this one's different. We had this conversation off air. It's different because last time it was kind of LeBron just wanting to win a title. He made his own decision, the decision. Yeah. But this time, it's the owner's fault. You know what? When a guy has an ego the size of or larger than anyone else on the team, and that team also has LeBron James, and we all know he has an ego, you got a problem when you're owner, because the owner's not putting the ball in the basket, that's for sure.
Man, stay out of it. You're a friggin' owner. It doesn't make sense. But that's what I mean. Like, they're blowing it right now. Again. Like, they got this... Okay, they drafted this guy, this generational talent, quite possibly the greatest player of all time, if not the second best player of all time, right?
Well, I'd say the greatest, but it's up for debate.
Yeah, but again, he's that good that we're even talking about it, and he's from Ohio and stuff like that, so you draft him, he carries your team for 7 years, and then you lose him, and he goes off and wins 2 titles somewhere else. And then he finally comes back and delivers your first title since, for the city since 1948, right? Or I guess if you count the Cleveland Browns before, the Super Bowl era, but...
No, yeah, 48, just say it.
Yeah, it's 48. And then they're going to blow it again, because he's going to leave again. They don't...
But the bigger tragedy is Kyrie leaving. Potentially leaving.
Nowhere.
Because he's your future. LeBron's 32. Not to say he's anywhere close to being done, but if LeBron leaves and Kyrie leaves, that team's a mess. They're going to be the Sixers 2.0, or maybe, I guess, what the Nets are right now.
Yeah, they'll be bad.
Just nothing.
Yeah, they'll be horrible if those two leave. And I think that's what's going to... Kyrie has to leave now. Again, we'll talk about Kyrie more later, but, I think... with considering that, I couldn't, as much as I wanted to put Toronto number 1, like I couldn't put them over Cleveland.
Not over Buffalo, that's for sure.
Yeah, not over Buffalo. And then I originally had San Diego 1, but the more I thought about it, like there's no way I couldn't put Buffalo number 1. They have to be. Like,
yeah.
They have everything. All the heartbreaking losses. They've had teams that were really good and could have won but didn't deliver. They've had teams that have been absolute dog shit. Like, they've had every part of heartbreak.
Can you admit something for me?
What's up?
You had fun putting Buffalo at number 1.
Well, of course.
I hate Buffalo.
Yeah, no. I'm just fascinated with the whole Four Falls and stuff like that. Like, how that... Like,
great documentary by ESPN 30 for 30, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That's it might be my favorite ESPN 30 for 30 was the Four Falls of Buffalo. But
Catching Fire was better.
Catching Fire was good. Oh, no, it's Catching Hell.
Catching Hell?
Yeah.
Oh, Catching Fire is the Hunger Games.
Yes.
We all know what I mean, Steve Bartman.
Catching Fire was a pretty decent movie. But,
Catching Fire number 2?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. But what else? There's more good ESPN 30 for 30s. There's Elway to Marino was good.
I love June 17th, 1994?
I thought it was like June 4th.
Whatever, the OJ day.
Yeah.
That was great. There was no dialogue in that one. It was just video clips of what was going on that day from OJ. Everyone knows the Bronco chase. There was the Knicks and Rockets game, or not Knicks and Rockets. Knicks and
was it?
Well, yeah, it was Knicks and Rockets.
Yeah,
Game 7.
No, I think it was like Game 5.
Game 5, the Rangers parade, Arnold Palmer's last day at the U.S. Open.
Yep.
Ken Griffey, if I'm not mistaken, becoming the youngest player to hit a certain amount of home runs before the All-Star break. I forget. Ken Griffey was awesome.
Yeah.
What else happened that day?
There's a bunch of stuff.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a big day for sports, and all anyone wanted to pay attention
Wimbledon?
to was OJ. Was it? I don't know.
It's around that time of the year.
Yeah.
It was anyway good. Like for one without any dialogue.
Yeah.
And another one of my favorites is the 4 Days in October.
Oh,
As much as I hate the Red Sox,
I think that might be my favorite. Actually, that one's great.
I just remember that I was about 04. I was 12 years old watching that, and I didn't really appreciate my hatred for the city of Boston when it comes to sports at the time. But I just it's just so fresh in my head, the calls by Joe Buck in that game where Poppy hit the game-winning home run to send it to Game 5. We'll see you later tonight, and then when Johnny Damon's rounding around third, then you could keep on running to New York. Like just great lines, great games, and the greatest rivalry of all time, the Yankees and Red Sox. That was another good one.
No, that one was amazing. There was one other one that I was thinking. Well, the obvious one is OJ Made in America. Have you seen that one yet?
No, too long.
Oh, it's so good though.
Too long.
Set aside.
I want to. I watched the series with what's the guy's name? Cool Runnings.
What, you talking about the People vs. OJ?
Yeah, what's the guy's name? Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, like I saw, and David Schwimmer and who played Marcia Clark?
Oh no, what's her name?
Sarah Paulson.
That's it.
Yeah, that was a great series.
Yeah. Also, what was the movie that you came up for?
Was it Cool Runnings?
Wouldn't the first one that comes to your mind be Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, another movie I haven't seen.
He won an Oscar for that.
Yeah, never seen it.
You never seen Jerry Maguire?
Don't like Tom Cruise.
You had me at hello.
Don't like Tom Cruise.
But you had me at hello.
Don't like Tom Cruise.
I just think that you had me at hello.
Won't watch it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, those are a bunch of ESPN 30 for 30s that are great. But
can you have a list
of ESPN 30 for 30s?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be.
You got to watch them all.
Okay. I'm not going to watch every single ESPN 30 for 30. That's impossible.
Did you watch the gambling one? Not the gambling.
Fantasy one?
Fantasy one.
Yes. The fantasy one was very good.
Yeah.
I really liked that one. I also watched... Have you seen the Tanya Harding one?
No.
That one's very good as well. That one, it almost makes you question whether she really... she did it. But it almost makes you question whether you did it and feel sorry for her. But it's really good. That one's really interesting. There's so much more behind the scenes that I didn't realize that went into that. It's crazy.
I should probably watch that one. Even one that I didn't think was going to be any good was the I Hate Christian Laettner one.
That one was very good, yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the Randy Moss one?
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
I didn't like that too much. Or
We're talking about Ricky Williams, because I know you.
no, Ricky Williams was okay. There was a Randy Moss one too.
Oh, because I know you.
Ricky Williams, yeah, I love Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked a nice. I would watch a 6-part documentary on Ricky Williams.
Holy shit!
He's so fascinating.
A 6-part series.
I like him.
Well, okay. One thing that I realized, especially writing this 6-part series, is that you can go on it forever about these. Like with the history of sports. Oh my god! Like this stuff has been around forever, right? Like there's so much you can write about. At the end of the day, when I first wrote this series, it's because I couldn't think of anything to write about. I was like, I've never done a top 10 list before. I've always wondered like where Toronto would be on the list and like where everyone would end up. And I've always wanted to go into all the history of like heartbreaking losses and stuff like that. So I was gonna do 1,000 words, right? I guess to 2,000 words, 3,000. By the end, I just kept writing and writing and writing, and at the end of it, I was like over 25 pages in. I go, you know what? I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add more to it and do it properly, and I'm just gonna, however long it ends up being, I'll put that out. But realistically, I could have done an entire series on just the 4 Falls of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right? There's a documentary on it, for Christ's sake. Right?
Well, you know what they say? It's kind of like that gambler's tale, where I'm sure it goes for writing. I'm not a writer. You wouldn't want me to be a writer. But I think it's a lot easier to say and do things that are negative. And gamblers, this is my point about gambling, gamblers are not addicted to winning. They're addicted to the feeling of losing. Not that they like it, but the feeling of sorrow, sadness, losing is way more powerful than love and winning.
Yeah.
Hate is a stronger emotion than love.
Yeah.
Whether it's morbid or not, it's true. So this is, it's good work.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to lie, I don't think anyone caught on to this, but I kind of tried to channel my inner Lemony Snicket at the beginning of each article. Like, that's why at the beginning I'm just like, this sad tale, read on if you dare or whatever, because that's what Lemony Snicket does in the series of unfortunate events. But it's true. Like, it was a lot of fun, but it was just literally looking through some of the most depressing moments in some city's fan base's history. Right?
And if you're a big sports fan like us, it is sad. It is sad. Like, unless it's Buffalo or Montreal for us.
And see, I disagree with that, man.
I enjoy seeing those cities. Like, I'm just saying from the outside, but it is sad. It is a big part of lives.
Especially like a city like Buffalo, man. Like that, the Bills are all they got at some points. You know what I mean? They don't really support the Sabres as much, but like
no, Buffalo. And you said it in the in your article. Buffalo's a good, loyal sports city, and hockey is right up there in Buffalo. It's right up there. Yeah. They have a great minor league system there too.
Yeah, but I mean, like especially with the Bills, like we were there that game, the season opener against the Dolphins when. Jim Kelly just announced that he was cancer-free, and when he made his appearance, we saw grown men and women crying in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane, you know what I mean? Like, they love their sports team.
And we also got heckled.
Yes.
That day. So we saw the other end of the Buffalo fans.
But even that just shows their passion, right?
And I've been, as a neutral fan in Buffalo, Bills and Chargers. Couldn't care less about both teams. Of course, Bills and Chargers.
Oh, yeah. Number 1 and 2.
Yeah, number 1 and 2, that's funny. The then San Diego Chargers. And I didn't, like, they were both under 500 at the time. I think it was 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
So the game meant nothing. The Dolphins were on a bye, so I wasn't really... the Dolphins were out of it, too, let's face it. So I just came as a neutral fan. I said I was going to enjoy it. We tailgated. We went with our... you didn't go, but I went with our cousins. Yeah. And what a time tailgating with those guys. They're a very passionate group. And like I said, they were under 500... barely a chance at making the playoffs, and they're still right into it.
Well, it's every season like that. They're out of it early, and they're showing up to games in December when it's freezing cold and cheering on their team. Like I don't
and we're just as good here. I mean, okay, you cannot compare football to like baseball. I know people like to poke fun that the Blue Jays fans are bandwagon fans, but baseball, you're talking about 82 home games compared to 6 or 8. right?
Yeah.
8 home games for football. So it's apples and oranges, right? We still have a very loyal fan base here. You see it with the Raptors. Look at TFC, for example.
Yeah.
Right? This is far from a soccer city.
No, of course.
But those fans are rabid, they're wild, and they love their team.
Oh,
and we're not passionate TFC fans, but we're part of that.
Well, when a Toronto team does well, like, yeah, you see the best of Toronto, right? Like, we've had some of the best crowds here, especially in the NBA with the Raptors games, man.
No, nothing will beat. Well, I know you went to a Raptors playoff game, but nothing will beat that atmosphere at the Jays game last year against Texas.
That was crazy, yeah.
That was
no, but I'm saying like in the NBA, like Toronto fans are known as some of the best fans in basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the Raptors are at best number 3 in Toronto, right? Like they're the third biggest team in Toronto.
Yeah, but the NBA is just as casual as a league gets, though. I wouldn't put like NBA fans up there with football fans or anything. Like I just don't see passion like the other sports. Not to say there's no passion in the NBA, but
I don't know if I agree with that. But it just depends on what the stakes are and stuff like that. Like you said, football, there's only 16 games in a season. It makes everything way more important, right? Every game feels like it's a borderline playoff game.
Yeah, but the NBA, 2 teams waltz to the finals, so their fans don't wake up until the finals. So that's my point with the NBA.
Well, yeah, that's a more recent thing though. That's not like a history thing. Like the NBA.
Bulls in the '90s. Lakers and the Showtime Lakers, the Celtics. Don't get me going on this list of the NBA's mediocrity.
I guess. But yeah, no, Buffalo has some amazing fans. Even the San Diego fans, like they're obviously not known as being the most passionate fan base, but like I went over, man, they have not had a lot to cheer for. They had that period of time with like the Rivers LT era where they were pretty good. They had an amazing offense, but they never even went to the Super Bowl. And you still have these passionate fans that are heartbroken when the team left. Like that had to. I haven't seen too many teams leave a city, but the Chargers leaving San Diego was definitely the messiest divorce I've seen between a city and a team. The way that they were 99% out the door the year prior, right? That 2015 game where they had that like awesome send off. Then they come back for one season and it's just like, screw you, we're still leaving. And that just pissed fans off even more, right? Like they weren't into the last season. They were hate watching at that point, right? Yeah. Especially because the team sucked.
Well, yeah.
Losing to the Browns.
I get that. Well, that's another discussion. I don't think they were that bad. They lost a lot of close games. But yeah, I get your point.
Well, I also think they were checked out. Honestly, I feel like the team fed off the crowd. I think
a lot of injury. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And that's one thing I didn't go over. San Diego's been very injury riddled for like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah. Well, you made that point about that one AFC Championship game where. They shouldn't have had any chance of winning that, and they were playing Philip Rivers on one leg.
Torn ACL.
LaDainian Tomlinson in a playoff game, like that's go figure with him getting hurt or choking or something like that. And then I think Gates was hurt too that game.
He played with a broken foot, I believe.
Yeah, and mind you, it feels like he's been playing with a broken foot his whole career. You talk about a warrior.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. Well, yeah, that trio is awesome. Rivers, Gates, and Tomlinson, that's 3 Hall of Famers.
And then on their defense, lights out, Sean Merriman.
Yeah. Yeah. They had some good teams, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, some of the chances.
And underrated about that team in, I guess their heyday of 2004 on, their offensive line was one of the best in football.
Yeah, people don't really talk. Well, like offensive lines don't really stick out to like the average fan, but like. It's absolutely true. No, you look at it, and they had that one season where they were 14-2, and they lost to the Patriots in the second round. That was probably their best season because that's when everyone was like flying. You know what I mean? Like I think that was Tomlinson's MVP season with 31 touchdowns and everything.
Yeah.
And they had the game won. It was over. And you know with
just like a lot of San Diego games.
Exactly, like a lot of San Diego games, like a lot of Cleveland games in the '90s and stuff like that. But, you know, McCree gets that interception. In that split second, the game is over.
And that just goes to show you that's so Chargers, and yet that's so Patriots too, fluking their way to these things.
You know what? But there is something to be said about a team that always comes out on the right end of that.
Yeah, I like it is like you. It's not a knock against them. It's just like, how does that keep happening?
Well,
we're a team like there is no. You could say all you want, Brady, Belichick, whatever, but a guy should have the common sense when he's intercepting a ball at that stage to just take a knee.
No, it's
right?
true.
Like, that's not so Patriots that only the Patriots can make that play.
But the Patriots would never do something like that, right?
Oh, agreed. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think that's why they always come out...
Because they'd get cut mid-game if they did that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think, like, there's something to be said about them always winning. And they've won a lot of games in ways like that, but it's because they never make those mistakes themselves, right? I can't really even think about too many back-breaking Patriots losses besides that time Peyton Manning had the biggest comeback. That was actually the next game.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you were going to mention when the Dolphins got that pick in the end zone.
Okay, that's different. No.
The Charles Clay game.
No, I'm actually... The game after this comeback that the Patriots had against the Chargers, the Colts in the AFC Championship had the biggest comeback in AFC Championship.
That was a great game.
Conference title history.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
We should do a top 10 games of all time.
Oh, I see. I don't want to turn into like a listicle kind of thing. You know how there's a...
We could do it later this podcast.
No, wait, can you chill? I'm just saying, I don't want to be like, there's a lot of sports sites out there that are dependent on top 10 lists, and like, I don't really know if that's... Maybe that is my thing. I don't know. I love watching top 10 videos and stuff like that, but I definitely don't want to go back to back with like a series that's like a top 10 again, right? I don't know. The one thing that I did learn from writing this is that I really like long-form writing. Like, I had a lot of fun going into the details about certain games and researching the context behind them and stuff like that, how they were doing that season, how they did the season before. It was a lot of fun. I think that's my favorite way. It might be my favorite way to write. I don't know. This is the whole point of this blog is to test out things like that, right? So maybe top 10 best games of all time. Top 10, if you even focus on just teams and not cities, because the Texas Rangers might be number one.
Oh, choke artists?
Well, I was going to say, most heartbreaking teams.
Heartbreaking teams. Yeah, the Texas Rangers would be right up there.
Right up there.
Nothing beats, 2011? Against the Cardinals?
Yes, it was 2011.
Oh, man.
What was his name? Freeze?
David Freeze.
That's it.
He could barely get over 200 right now. I think he's on the Pirates right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What a bizarre Game 6. Oh.
Bizarre. It was amazing.
No, bizarre, and I don't know how they did not close it. That was amazing.
They were one strike away.
3 times, if I'm not mistaken.
Holy shit.
David Freeze, I think twice.
Yeah, he did. He did do. We'll see you in Texas, or we'll see you in St. Louis. Where did they go back for the last game? Isn't that the one where he hits the home run I think it's Vasgersian. No, that's not Vasgersian.
Joe Buck.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. It is Joe Buck. And doesn't he say, we'll see you in...
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I think he does say that, but isn't the...
Wouldn't it be back-to-back the same city?
Yeah, the same city. But maybe, in 2011, I can't remember, formats, that far, but,
Either way, yes.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
And that was Pujols' last series, I guess, in St. Louis, too.
Yep.
But them, San Jose Sharks.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They would definitely be there.
St. Louis Blues would be at the top of the list, man. You look at St. Louis's history, okay? San Jose is similar, but they haven't been around as long. St. Louis has been in the league for 48 years. They've only missed the playoffs 9 times. 9, and they've never won the Cup. How is that possible? You're there every year. Almost every year you're there. What? And then the Sharks are the same thing. They've only missed the playoffs 3 times or something.
Yeah, well, in the Joe Thornton era, they've had arguably a top 5 team every year.
And they just can't. And they've only been to the Cup Finals once.
Well, it's like the Braves in the 90s into the 2000s when they had that legendary playoff streak. And they won the World Series in 95, but they, Maddox, Smoltz, I'm drawing a blank here, but what a pitching staff. And they only won the 1 World Series.
Yeah, well... Winning the one will ease the pain a bit, but you never forget. It's like if you think about the Packers with their loss to the Seahawks a few years ago in the conference finals.
I'm heartbroken over that.
Yeah.
And I don't even care about the Packers.
They could win the next 4 Super Bowls. They will never forget that loss. Actually, that's what I would like to look at. Like, the most heartbreaking losses. Oh my God.
And that game, was that the same series as the Fail Mary?
Was that the same, what?
Season.
No.
It was after?
A year,
oh, no, but
2 years after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Seahawks, of course.
Yeah. They. I think growing up in Toronto really screwed me up because all I want to write about is heartbreakers and bad moments. But that would definitely
very easy to do that in this city.
Well, Boston Toronto Game 7, that game that didn't actually happen.
Yep.
That one that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
That one would definitely be at the top of the list.
Yep.
It might actually come in at number 1. Would you put it at number 1?
For me, yes.
Well,
personally, but you have to look at you miss a field goal to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The Leafs weren't winning the cup that year.
No.
It tore me to shreds. I couldn't sleep that night, but they weren't winning the cup.
No.
Buffalo. If Norwood gets that kick, they literally win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a bunch of losses on that list, like the back-to-back Cleveland AFC Championships against Denver.
One of my favorites.
Okay.
Sorry to change this.
No.
I just thought of
Go
this
for it.
right now.
Yeah.
New Orleans, Jacksonville, Week 17. I cannot remember the year. If New Orleans wins that game, they make the playoffs. Okay. Jacksonville was a crappy team.
Oh, no.
This miracle with laterals, everything on a kick return for a touchdown. Kick the extra point, you're going to overtime. Oh, there was no extra point made.
God.
And that was before, obviously, they went back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
that was back in the Aaron Brooks days when he was playing quarterback for New Orleans.
Oh, okay. No, that's hard. Missing an extra point. Even the Tony Romo fumbled snap.
Yeah.
That's like for an extra.
Oh
my
goodness.
God. And I think the worst part about that play is that he fumbles the snap. If they hit the extra point, it goes to overtime, right? He fumbles the snap, he gets up, he runs, and it actually looks like he's going to get in the end zone, and it's going to end up being a miracle, and they're going to win on that play. Like, it looks like he's going to go the complete opposite way, and then he gets tackled at the 1-yard line. And it's game. Like,
even the famous, that idiot kicker game.
Yeah, Colts and...
Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Big Ben... Jerome Bettis, most overrated running back of all time.
Right?
Yeah. Fumbled at the 1-yard line. I want to say it was Roman Harper. No, he played for this. Who was it? Antoine Bethea. Who cares? Yeah. He was running down. Should have had a touchdown. Of all people, Ben Roethlisberger tackles him.
That's right.
And then they drive to kick a game-winning field goal. And Mike Vanderjagt, Hamilton's finest, misses the field goal.
Well, that tackle by Ben Roethlisberger is one of the most famous tackles of all time now.
Yeah.
Like, that's infamous.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. You can go all day with these heartbreaking.
I think Aaron Rodgers had a big one on Brian Urlacher in a playoff game, too.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Obviously not as prominent as the Ben Roethlisberger one.
No.
But I'm just thinking of quarterback tackles.
Wait, how many times has Rodgers played the Bears in the playoffs? Only once, right? Wasn't that a blowout because Cutler didn't play?
No, that was a good game. Cutler didn't play, but they got a pick 6 at the end. B.J. Raji, you remember? To win the game.
B.J. Raji?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You don't remember that beautiful, sexy 500-pounder getting into the end zone?
I should remember that. I don't.
Caleb Haney.
I don't remember that. I thought it was a blowout.
No, it should have been. Once Cutler got hurt, it should have been a blowout, but... and the Bears' defense wasn't even as strong back then. That was a bizarre game. Like it was also abnormally cold too, which helps.
I do remember that
being lower, right? And that's what's crappy and great about the NFL playoffs too. If you get a game where it's in minus 35-degree weather,
it changes everything.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
It's almost a coin flip at that point.
Yeah,
the Bills might even win.
Well, they have to get to the playoffs in order to win, bro. They haven't been to the playoffs since 1999.
Oh, and it'll keep going this year.
Oh, it's not changing this year. Good God.
Ty God.
Well, I don't. Tyrod Taylor is not the problem with that team.
No.
They have.
He's also not the solution.
Well, I mean, you'd have to have a pretty good quarterback to be the solution for that.
Well, when you trade all those picks to get Sammy Watkins, when he was like the fifth best receiver in that draft,
He was. Who was in that draft? Jarvis Landry's better.
Odell Beckham, Mike
obviously better.
Evans, Brandon Cooks, who I say is better.
I would take Brandon Cooks over.
That's just off the top of my head.
So that's already fifth best.
He's already fifth best,
Oh
and I'm
God.
almost certain there's someone else better.
Will that be another one? Worst trade in the history?
Yeah,
Jeez.
the RG3 trade would have been up there, but they stole Kirk Cousins in the fourth,
Yeah, but no, it's still a bad trade though. You give away like a bunch.
and the Rams did nothing with that though.
Yeah.
And well, mind you, the Browns did nothing
Still,
with
you
the
could've-
Sammy Watkins trades.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you still gave away a lot of
Best
good
trade
players.
up in NFL history might be Atlanta Falcons in
for
2011
Julio Jones.
drafting the greatest receiver in the
Okay,
modern era.
let's calm down. You know what? That wasn't just okay. First of all, Julio Jones should say a prayer to God every night and thank him for Atlanta making that trade. Okay, because he would have been stuck in Cleveland, right? But
Well, who knows if they pick him? But yeah.
No, they probably let's just okay. No. But every NFL fan should thank God that Atlanta made that trade.
Every
and
fantasy fan.
Every fan, unless you're like a Saints or Buccaneers fan, like a division rival.
Yeah,
right?
or
Or Panthers fan. Like, if Julio Jones was stuck in Cleveland, how sad would that be? That guy is so. I mean,
seriously, the best receiver in the game now.
oh, in my opinion, yeah,
Right.
it's not even a debate.
And
also had the best catch in last year's Super Bowl. I don't give a damn what anyone says.
probably the best 3 catches. He got targeted 5 times, caught 4 of them.
Yeah,
And-
wasn't it 4 for 4?
Or 4 for 4.
Yeah.
But who needs to throw to the best receiver in the game?
That was the worst loss.
Yeah, I just decided.
That was so bad. That was just, I wanted to cry.
Just run the ball!
That's all I had to do was run the ball.
Kick a field goal. They have one of the best field goal kickers in the game.
Just run the ball. Just don't get sacked. Just
Don't throw
just
completions.
swat the ball down. Man, Brady was playing so bad all game, and the second Edelman made that catch, something just
And that's the
flipped.
thing. He wasn't even playing good in their comeback. James White.
Well, okay.
Like, no. Like, a lot of, the Edelman catch.
Yeah.
What did Brady have to do with that?
No, I agree. It actually should have been an interception.
Yeah.
But once Edelman made that catch, I think
He
something-
balled out after.
Yeah, he was unreal.
But James
after
White was the MVP of that game. The quarterback will always get it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Peyton Manning of last year.
Yeah, no, I agree to a certain extent. I didn't have a problem with Brady winning it, to be honest, though, because okay, but he was so clutch at the end. Like, again, once Edelman made that catch, everything was perfect from then on. Like from there on out, is what I meant to say.
Atlanta helped that too.
Well, yeah, if you want to give the MVP to Atlanta for giving the game away,
Kyle Shanahan, MVP, Super Bowl MVP, now Niners head coach.
No, he was great all season. He'll be fine as a head coach.
I'm sure he'll be
Yeah.
fine, but he's got a lot of learning to do after that game.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do with that friggin' team. He's got time to just gain experience because that team sucks.
And now they're apparently looking to cut Carlos Hyde.
Okay, so let's talk about why that is the most nonsensical thing ever. If Carlos Hyde was... Okay, pretend for a second Carlos Hyde sucks, okay? Pretend he's trying to...
Well, he's not like a world beater, but
No.
he's still the best player on that offense.
Okay, yes. He's being paid like $800,000 a season.
In a contract year.
What are you cutting him for? What are you getting out of that?
You're not going to win. You don't have to give him carries.
Jesus Christ. There's no purpose in cutting him. That's got to be just smoke. And
Well,
mirrors.
teams like the Ravens might benefit from that with Kenneth Dixon getting hurt.
I don't think there's any way that they'll cut him, though. I think maybe they'll trade him to a team like the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right?
Even if Ezekiel Elliott gets suspended.
Oh, I thought you were going to say if he gets hurt. I'm like, what the hell? He can play on anyone.
Yeah.
What are you wishing on Ezekiel
I'm
Elliott?
not wishing anything.
Yeah, no, but he might get it. Oh, and Lev Bell is always good for a suspension or two. So.
Or an injury.
Yeah. You know what, man? It's very early in his career, but the way things are looking right now, he could end up being one of the biggest wastes of talent, like, ever. Because he might be the best.
No, that belongs solely to 2 guys.
Oh, no.
Joshua L. Gordon and Justin D.
Justin.
Blackman.
No, but wait. Here's
I'm making up middle names, by the way.
I think that was obvious. Here's the thing with those two compared to Lev Bell. Lev Bell has at least been able to prove that he might be the best running back in the league right now.
No.
Okay, top 3.
Yes.
Oh,
if we're not counting Ezekiel Elliott, David Johnson, and Peterson's done.
Yeah.
I guess right now, sure, yeah. 3.
Okay, top 3 and like definitely elite and all that, and so we know that for a fact. And he's wasting all his talent, right?
Well, the suspensions, yes, but not the injuries. The injuries.
No, and that sucks. That's an unfortunate, but it's still wasting his talent. Like it's you can't help it, but
fair.
It's the thing. But yeah, stop smoking weed.
Yes.
Just don't do that.
It's nonsensical, especially when you're making millions of dollars.
Smoke weed when you retire.
Done. And they retire at like 30.
Yeah, well, especially a running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to smoke weed right now. I mean, it's a stupid rule, but at the same time, you know you're not supposed to, so just don't do it. It's not that hard.
It's easy.
Well, I'm glad Lev Bell got some advice out of this. If he's listening, Lev, if you're listening,
I think he is.
You're welcome. Yeah, probably.
I'm calling you out as the 3rd best running back.
Oh,
Not first, not second.
those are fighting words. Calling someone the 3rd best running back in the world? It's offensive.
I'll put Ajayi ahead of you too.
Oh.
No.
Okay, no.
Can't do that.
All aboard the J train. What were we even talking? How did we even get here? Lev Bell wasting
Julio.
Yeah, Julio being wasted in... No, is that how it started?
Yeah, it did.
Oh my god, yeah, that would have sucked if he got wasted in Cleveland. That would have been just a disaster.
You could have a random thought.
Oh no.
Just speaking of Julio getting
God.
traded 2011.
Oh no.
You could have a segment of 3.5 hours talking about the 2011 draft.
Oh, yeah, how good that draft is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's my favorite.
I thought you were about to wax poetic about Julio.
No, I could sing a poem. Sing a poem.
I think that would just be a song, wouldn't it?
Just for anyone listening, I love Julio Jones.
Yeah, that would be... I was about to say we don't have enough time for you to wax poetic about Julio, although you've already kind of done it, but... yeah, no, that 2011 draft was just disgustingly stacked. Like, every pick was great except for all the quarterbacks.
Except for Cam.
And minus Cam Newton, that's what I was going to say. Like, Cam Newton went first. Every other player was great, except for, Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker that year, Christian Ponder.
Yep.
Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker.
Yeah,
Just a
when
bunch of them.
Marcel Darius is the 5th best defensive lineman in the draft,
Yeah,
it's a good draft.
It's a pretty damn good draft. Yeah. Anyway, so wait, back to the list, though. Are there any teams that you would take off the list?
Probably Montreal. Cities, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, cities.
Probably Montreal. Just because the rich history and not enough teams. I get they lost the Expos, which was a big factor, but the Canadians have been so successful in their history. So
Yeah? No,
I just would have replaced it with an Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll justify my choice of Montreal. I won't lie to you. I wanted to have one Canadian team other than Toronto on the list. That was also a factor. It was between Vancouver and Montreal. And you're right, the Canadians the Canadiens have a rich history of success. But at the same time, it's been 25 years since they've won.
24.
24 years since they've won. So I was kind of counting because 2018 would be it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but and then I get what you're saying with the Canadian thing.
And it was more about the Expos. That was the big one.
Yeah.
I had I've talked to some people who are Expos fans. The biggest influence on me for that was one of my profs is a huge baseball fan, and his favorite team was the Expos. And I just felt my heart breaking when he would talk to me about it. How it's not the same watching baseball. He loves it and he watches it, but he just doesn't have that passion anymore. He can't cheer for the Jays. He hates the Jays, right? He can't cheer for the Nationals because that's just dirty, right? Someone who loves baseball and has loved it their whole life and just doesn't have. It's just empty, you know. There's just nothing there. Oh man, I want to cry right now.
I get it. I look at a city like Atlanta,
Yeah, Atlanta is one
the
of
the Hawks went 1958.
1958.
So and they've been whatever, like borderline irrelevant in the NBA.
Well, they went to the conference final.
Yeah, but they had no chance.
Yeah.
The Falcons, we just talked about them for a little bit. Yeah, that's rough.
That's a sad one. They've had some bad losses other than that Super Bowl.
The Braves were one of the more dominant franchises for a while.
Yeah.
One World Series, we talked about that earlier,
yeah.
right, in 1995.
Yeah.
And then just a bunch of heartbreak and what-ifs. Mm-hmm. And then the Thrashers moved their team, and the Atlanta Flames back in the day, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so they moved their hockey team twice. Not that it's a hockey city, but...
Yeah, no, it's still a team moving.
And no playoff wins for the Atlanta Thrashers franchise.
Yeah,
one playoff year, and they got swept.
I actually didn't even know that. Holy shit.
The Kovalchuk-Heatley era.
Right. What's it called? If I was to take one off, I would definitely add Atlanta. That was never a doubt in my mind. If I was to redo the list, especially after doing all the research and stuff like that, I probably would reorder. Is there anything you would have reordered?
I
don't think you could touch the top four.
No, I probably would have put the Leafs, Toronto ahead of Cleveland, just because Cleveland won last year. I get why they're in the top four for sure. I would actually put Toronto second, behind San Diego or Santiago.
Oh, okay.
I would have put Minnesota higher.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Where were they ranked? Sixth?
I think... Wait, I can check right now, one sec. I believe it was either 6th, or this is sound random, but 6th or 8th. So 7 was Washington. Lots of stuff. Yeah, okay, they're 6.
Yeah, so I probably would have put them top 5, but it's hard to argue they cracked the top 4. The only argument I would have for them to pass Cleveland was because the recent championship for Cleveland. Even Washington.
What?
Washington's filled with choke artists. I love it. I have a smile on my face. I love sorrow if it's not in our city. I love it. Daniel gets emotional for other people. I don't care. I love seeing other cities suffer because we suffer. Once we get lifted from our curse, go ahead, win, Buffalo. We have our championship.
Well, I think that's another driving factor. And we've disagreed on this a lot, but I find myself always cheering for teams that have never won. Because I feel bad.
Depending on what the team is. If they're facing Boston, I don't care who it is. I'm cheering for them. But if it's... let's make up something.
Well, Capitals versus Penguins. You were cheering for the Penguins.
I was cheering for the Penguins. I love Crosby. I love Malkin. I hate Ovechkin. I don't like the way that team was built. And they friggin' just beat the Leafs, so it's difficult to...
I don't think that should factor into it.
They had a lot of hate. People I hated on the team after that series. That I didn't think I hated before.
Well, that always happens in the playoffs.
It happened.
Okay, alright. No, but...
But Washington, think about it. The Nats have been absolute choke artists because they refuse to build their bullpen. They refuse. It's been the biggest part of Major League success the last, 5 years?
Yeah. Especially
with the Royals.
Well, it'll be Astros and Nationals in the finals this year, then one of them could stop choking.
No. Well, I don't think it's going to work out.
They just both choke?
No, they're not going to face each other. But that's another story. We'll talk. You could talk about that after.
Yeah.
But the Nationals just refuse to build a bullpen. All these heartbreaking losses the last few years. Arguably the best pitching staff. Great offense. Weak National League until probably this year. Yeah. And they still nothing.
Yeah. No,
the Capitals, you don't have to go on about them being chokers.
Oh my! I expect this last year was the worst.
No, this last decade.
No, but I'm saying this last year was the worst year of it all. Because they were so good last year.
Yeah.
And they, this was their last shot. Because now everyone's gone. Well, not everyone's gone, but they've lost a bunch of people. They've had to sign
they're older.
TJ Oshie to 8 years.
Yeah, fun. and then even the Wizards. Not that they're just kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, they have been for a while. They're starting to get relevant again now.
Yeah, they have zero chance.
Because the East sucks.
Yeah, zero chance.
Yeah, no one...
Love John Wall, zero chance.
No one in the East has a chance except for, maybe Cleveland, but not even...
Except for if Kyrie leaves.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not even anymore, man. It's just whoever wins the West wins, and that's going to be Golden State. But, again, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, basketball.
Okay, anyway. What was I going to say? Washington's definitely suffered a lot of heartbreak. Who do you put them above, though? Where do you? I know. Wait, I know you told me beforehand when I was in the middle of publishing them that you didn't like Milwaukee at 5.
Yeah, Milwaukee. That's another. They're fine to be on there. I get it.
Yeah.
But definitely would have moved Minnesota up, especially with those beautiful Vikings. I love the Vikings, but yeah.
Oh, they're the biggest choke artists in football, maybe. Jeez.
See, that's a team I feel sorry for.
I feel so.
I don't feel sorry for the Capitals. I feel sorry for the Vikings.
I do feel bad for the Capitals.
No, I don't.
Okay, I know you don't.
I would have moved the Vikings, Minnesota up to 5.
Yeah.
Maybe 4, just because the recent championship with Cleveland and their World Series berth.
Oh, I couldn't move Cleveland out of
I get it. I get that's a tough one because Cleveland's just until they won, they were definitely number 1.
Yeah,
but winning a championship recently helps elevate you. Right?
I know, but you see the fact that they are still for me in the top 3 despite winning last year says so much about that city, man.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I would have moved Minnesota up to 5.
Yeah.
Washington 6.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just one spot.
Yeah, no, well,
and
when you're
Milwaukee.
talking about the ironclad top 3,
yeah,
right? No one's moving there. Maybe just shifting.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Milwaukee's been pretty if we.
I get it, but they're just I like to include Green Bay and Milwaukee, but yeah.
Well, that is a big factor. I didn't include Green Bay and Milwaukee because if you do, that changes everything, right?
Yes.
Because the Bucks were the last team to win. They won in what year is it? Debuting in 1968. Oh, the only championship came in 1971. That's Milwaukee's only championship. The Timberwolves they have the biggest.
Timberwolves, Minnesota.
Oh yes, like the Timberwolves. No, my bad. What's it called? No, sorry. The Brewers is what I meant to say. Have made the playoffs. I think it's 5 times. No, 4. 4 times in 47 years.
I could remember. Yeah, that's
horrible.
And I can remember at least 2 recently, and it looks like they're going to choke away their lead this year.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah,
I have no doubt.
Well, the Cubs have already passed them, and they're a better team. So
yeah, they made the playoffs in 2011. So that was a recent.
And if we did this list, well, now I guess 7 years ago, Chicago would have been number 1 with the Cubs and Blackhawks. But now the Blackhawks have been on fire the last 7 years, and the Cubs finally won.
Well, yeah, you have
even the White Sox in 04 or 05. Sorry.
Yeah, the White Sox won in 05. The Blackhawks have won 3 cups in 6 years recently. The Cubs just won last year. The least recent championship for Chicago was the Bears in '85, which would be one of the most recent on this list.
Yeah,
and Chicago's good.
And Chicago and the Bears actually recently made a Super Bowl too with Sexy Rexy.
Oh,
Grossman.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean by Sexy Rexy.
Well, it could have been Rex Ryan.
No, it was not. I knew it was not Rex Ryan. But no, what's it called? But you're right. A few years ago, it would have been Chicago had the biggest drought in hockey that had won before, right? They had a bigger drought than the Leafs at the time, right? The Bears hadn't won, still haven't won since '85. The White Sox won in 2005. And then the Cubs was 1908. So that was quite a while ago, right? So they definitely would have been very high up on this list, but a lot has changed in that time. A lot has changed for Chicago.
Well, next year, Toronto will be off the list. The Leafs will win the Cup. The Raptors will go to the NBA Finals. And well, once Kyrie gets traded, and then
I don't even.
The Jays once Vlad Jr. comes up.
He's 18 right now.
He's the savior.
Okay, but he needs at least 2 years.
1 year.
At least 2 years. And I mean
a year and a half.
Okay, anyway. So at least 2 years. I think, what teams do you legitimately think are the most likely to get off the list?
No, seriously, Toronto with the Leafs. They're close.
Not next year, though.
No.
Even if they win the Cup next year, I wouldn't take them on.
Okay. Next year, Washington, I guess, because they have a good baseball team and still a decent hockey team.
Yeah. I think Nashville will be off soon. Maybe not next. Actually, yeah, it's a good point.
It's tough. I'm not picking them to win. Seriously, Washington, the Nationals have a legitimate chance to win the World Series.
Yeah.
the Leafs will be close. If Cleveland, let's say the Indians win this year, they're off. Well, they're maybe not off, but they're outside of the top 5 for sure. I'm just looking at Cincinnati. They should be up there too.
Yeah, but who do you put them above?
Milwaukee.
So so that's I think it's the only real issue with the list that you would put Milwaukee a lot further back.
Yeah.
Because everything else, you're just moving everything up one to replace Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty bad. I had so much fun writing about that.
I was in tears reading the part with my man Von Taz and Pac-Man. That is the dynamic duo of the NFL. Von Taz and Pac-Man. They should have a sitcom. Directed by Larry David.
I would watch that every day. Oh my god.
When he got up and went to his own end zone, I could not breathe with laughter.
I almost cried.
It was like you were crying tears of sorrow because you feel bad for these things. I was laughing. I was cheering for the Bengals, but how can you not want such a poetic ending? Von Taz perfect intercepts the ball and runs to his own end zone. Instead, more idiocy.
Yeah, even after you think, okay, they caught a break there. That's not how the game's gonna end, and then all the that is the closest I've come.
I want them to be good again this year, just to see something like that.
No, I think Cincinnati would rather them just be bad. I think Bengals fans are just like, no, let's just suck.
And I want them to suck because I have a bet with Corey. That's right.
But no, that game was. I think that is the saddest I've ever felt for a team that wasn't from Toronto, or Atlanta. What?
Or the Dolphins.
Or the Dolphins, yeah. Or Atlanta in this past Super Bowl. I don't know what, because this one was just like. I think it actually might be this one. I know it was the first round of the playoffs, but this is a team that has never really won anything. Okay, they've been in 2 Super Bowls and both times lost to Joe Montana, right? 2 times they've lost to Joe Montana in the Super Bowl. Okay, those are the 2 most successful seasons by far, and so then they're on this streak with Marvin,
who should have been fired like 7 years ago.
Okay, we're not 7, but Marvin Lewis, who is the second longest tenured coach in the NFL to this day, is on this streak where he's 0-6 in the playoffs, including 0-4, like 4 first-round losses in a row. Now it's 0-7. But
when you said Marvin Lewis is the second longest tenured coach, I'm assuming Bill Belichick's number 1. And before that, it was Jeff Fisher. So that's saying a lot about the list. Right? Okay, Bill Belichick's, and no one's arguing about him, but
Mike McCarthy's 3, by the way.
Mike McCarthy, he has success. You could say, I don't think he's the greatest coach,
like
but he's won.
No, you're right.
You can't fire him.
Yeah.
Marvin Lewis and Jeff Fisher before him in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Why do these guys have jobs for that long? I don't get it. Mind you, Joe Philbin, I think, was in Miami for 4 years too long.
Oh my god, that was the worst hire, and every season it was like just fire. But anyway, we're getting off topic. But I think, you know what's crazy? Mike Tomlin, I think, is 4th on that list, and he's one of the youngest coaches in the league still.
Yeah, but he started coaching when he was really young.
But that's what I'm saying. He's awesome. I love
He's very passionate. A lot of people question his decision making, but I would work my ass off for him.
Yeah, he's aggressive. He's going to make stupid decisions every season because he's so aggressive, but I'd rather him be aggressive than passive. Oh, okay. Cheering for a team that was coached by Joe Philbin, I would definitely rather him be aggressive than passive.
Joe Philbin was basically in a coma.
He was feeling queasy during that Packers game, man.
I'm still feeling queasy about that
game. He had a queasy feeling in his stomach, man. Give him a break. But, sorry. Back to the Bengals, okay? So, they're 0-6 with Marvin Lewis as a coach in the playoffs, including 4 seasons in a row they've been ousted in the first round. And these are not just regular...
The Bills have the same amount of playoff wins as the Bengals the last 10 years.
I think the Bengals' last playoff win was actually before the Bills' last playoff win. I'm being dead serious. Actually, the Bills are like 4th on that list. Because the Lions, too. The Lions haven't won a playoff game since
That's another beautiful...
But I couldn't put them on the list.
No, the Red Wings too successful.
Wings, yeah.
The Tigers are choke artists.
But even the Pistons won in 2004, which isn't too recent.
But the Red Wings.
The Red Wings were they went 25 straight years or something like that.
So they basically had Detroit. Let's break down Detroit for a second.
I'm trying to tell Cincinnati.
Detroit has 4 major teams.
Yeah.
One has been one of the most legendary franchises. They're bad now.
Yeah. Well,
finally.
It's
about time. The Pistons were great in the early 2000s, and then they kind of fallen off, but they're a mid-tier team now.
Yeah.
And the Tigers were perennial contenders. Talk about a team that didn't want to build a bullpen that should have won a World Series.
Yeah.
But they've been at least in contention, and then the Lions were a joke. So it's a decent sports city.
Yeah.
Like I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with just the Red Wings, man. But anyway, 0-6. They lost, and like I said, the last 4 losses. Like the first 2 were the Carson Palmer game where he tore his ACL, and they lost to the Steelers. That sucks, right?
Yeah.
The other one, I don't remember. I think it was the Jets that beat them. Yes, it was the Jets. The Jets went to the AFC Championship, so it's whatever.
With the Sanchez.
Yeah, with the Sanchez, yeah. So that's whatever. But these 4 losses that were in a row were bad. Like, you're talking about back-to-back years against the Houston Texans with their backup quarterback, T.J. Yates. Okay, they lost 2 years in a row to T.J. Yates at quarterback.
No, didn't Schaub play the second year?
No, it was T.J. Yates both years, man. He is their kryptonite. No, the playoffs is their kryptonite, I'm going to say. Okay? Then it was the Chargers who slipped into the playoffs because the Dolphins and Ravens decided to blow their last 2 games of the season. That's the only reason the Chargers were in the playoffs. They did not deserve to be there. It was Ravens and Dolphins made a pact. None of us are going to the playoffs this year. I'm talking the Dolphins putting up 7 combined points in the last 2 weeks of the season against the Bills and Jets who sucked that year.
And the Bengals were perfect at home, no?
That's what I was about to say. The Bengals were 8-0 at home that season and lost at home to a
9-7 team.
To a 9-7 San Diego Chargers team that slipped into the playoffs. Okay? Then the next year they lost the Colts, which was like a one-man team with Andrew Luck. The fact that their most impressive loss was against the Colts in that 4-year stretch is saying something, okay?
Yes.
So then they go into this 5th straight year.
Luck was a rookie?
No. That was his second or third year. Because he made the playoffs 3 years in a row.
Yes.
Start off his career, yeah.
Wow, he's been around for that long.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So then they go into this game. Now it's against the Steelers. This is their biggest rival. And it all started with that first Marvin Lewis playoff game when Carson Palmer tore his ACL in the first quarter, right? Or on the first play, if I'm not mistaken.
First series, at least.
Yeah. But this is one of those rivalries where the Steelers have won a bunch of Super Bowls and the Bengals have never won anything, right? It's a very lopsided rivalry, so you know the Bengals just want to beat the Steelers so bad, especially in the playoffs. In Cincinnati? It was in Cincinnati, right? Did they win the series or the division?
I want to say yes.
Yeah, so in they were 12-4 because that was when Andy Dalton almost won MVP.
Yes.
And he got hurt, right? So you know they want to beat the Steelers so bad and finally give them a punch back because it's barely a rivalry at this point with how much the Steelers win and the Bengals lose. So you go into this game and they're trying to snap this streak and finally get a playoff win. And before Dalton got hurt, it seemed like this might be the year, but then Dalton gets hurt with 2 weeks left. Or 4 weeks left, sorry. And it's like, maybe not, and now they're playing the Steelers, and it just doesn't look like a good recipe. And then they end up taking the lead, and Vontaze Burfict, the GOAT, gets the interception that should have sealed the deal. Then he runs into the locker room for some reason, through his own end zone. But thankfully, they said that he was down by contact. Or else it would have been a safety, and that would have been an interesting way to lose the game. But they get the interception. Now all they have to do, and remember earlier in the game, Jeremy Hill was fired up because his fellow running back Giovanni Bernard got decapitated by Ryan Shazier, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Mr. Right? Nipples in the cold.
Anyway, so yeah, he got decapitated by Ryan Shazier. So so Jeremy Hill's fired up. So he gets the handoff on the first play. All they got to do is run the clock, kick a field goal, and the game is over. Even if they miss the field goal, they still win. They just run 3 times.
Yeah, it would have been close.
And there's no time left.
Yeah.
Right? No, there would have been no time left. I'm telling you, they didn't have...
It would have been next to nothing, yeah.
Right. So the first run, Hill is fired up. He's fighting for extra yards when he should just go down again. A field goal would end it for sure. But even if you don't get a field goal, you still probably win. Just run the clock. He's fighting for extra yards, and he fumbles the football.
If I could go back to one moment in history, that might be it. Just to relive.
The Steelers recover. They start driving down the field. Remember, the only reason they got the interception in the first place is because Big Ben got hurt and Landry Jones threw a terrible interception right at Vontaze Burfict. But now with the extra time that happened during the fumble, Ben Roethlisberger is somehow cleared to come back into the game, comes back, and starts driving down the field. They're at midfield, just outside of field goal range, and he delivers a pass. This is something people don't talk about. Antonio Brown had no chance in hell to catch that pass. It was way over his head. That was going to be an incompletion. They were going to have a chance. They just had to stop them from gaining 15 yards, and they would have won the game. And
in true Bengals fashion, they also ended the Steelers season that day too.
Well, by taking
out Antonio Brown.
But yeah, they end up
and Ben got banged up too. So
yeah, they end up decapitating Antonio Brown, which bumps them up 15 yards, and then Pac-Man Jones gets into the mess by getting a penalty of his own for yelling at a ref.
No, Joey Porter.
Yeah, he pushed Joey Porter.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Joey Porter ran out the field, so
Dolphins legend Joey Porter.
Yep, linebacker coach for the Steelers now. He pushed Joey Porter, and that pushed them well into field goal range, and essentially ended the game. And then that beautiful video of Pac-Man Jones yelling into his camera in like a limo or something about the refs can't. Oh,
I love Pac-Man.
That
almost as much as I love Vontaze.
That's probably my favorite game that was featured on this list. I felt so bad. That was the worst loss ever. They literally said here, like the Steelers were like, okay, fine, you won, and the Bengals were just like, no, you won. That rivalry's over. It's not even a rivalry.
Well,
no, you need
I get what you're saying. I just would hope the Bengals get better, like just to make it a rivalry, but.
Well, they were bad last year.
Yeah.
They let a lot of people walk in free agency, and they haven't been active. The last two off seasons, they haven't been active. Like this one and the last one.
I think that division's already over, especially with Joe Flacco's news now.
Yeah. No, Steelers are going to win the division.
Yeah, it's over.
Or sorry, Browns.
Oh, yes.
Browns. Do you think the Browns are actually going to turn this around? They had such a good off season.
Yeah. No.
Well, they're not one off season away. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like. Do you think they're going, maybe?
Well, I would hope they're going in the right direction. I don't know.
Well, we'll
see Deshaun Kaiser. We'll see.
That's gonna be big if Kaiser ends up working out.
But next year's a big quarterback draft class anyway, so
that's true.
They'll be bad again, and they'll probably pick another one.
Well, okay. Let's put it this way though: if he turns out to be good, right? Then next year you don't have to take a quarterback. You can focus on another position of need.
One of their many positions of need, yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot, but they did a good job of plugging some holes this year. They got a tight end. Well, they got Njoku, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a tight end. They got a quarterback. They got they bolstered their secondary a bit. They got a bunch of good players. The Brock Osweiler trade, I love that trade on the Browns' part. You take on his contract. He's cuttable after this season, right? So you take on his contract for 1 year where you're going to be shit anyway, and you have a ton of cap space so you can eat it. Right? It doesn't make a difference this year, and you get a draft pick out of it. You essentially get a draft pick out of eating his contract for a year where you're not competitive anyway.
Yeah, and the Texans, they should have got Romo. They cheaped out on trying to trade for him. Yeah. They got lucky getting Deshaun Watson.
But they got very lucky that they dropped him, you're right. But do you think that Romo wanted to play for the Texans?
I think if the Texans didn't play around and they just did it right away...
Yeah, the problem with that is that we don't know.
He wouldn't have left. He would have been okay with staying in Texas, I think.
Well, if he was going to leave Dallas, yes. Yeah. He would have wanted to.
He wasn't going to go to Denver, play in the cold.
No. With that offensive line, too?
No, yeah, that's another.
No way.
Mind you, Houston's not much better.
It's better than Denver.
Okay, yeah. Well, he could have played in Cleveland. They have one of the best ranked offensive lines.
Yeah, what?
That's all you're basing it off of.
No, I'm just saying they have a better offensive line. It's part of it.
Okay.
If you're picking between the two, it's part of it.
Yeah.
But we don't know what Romo was thinking. Maybe the reason they were playing around is because they didn't he kept saying I'm not sure. We don't know what happened behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, and he got a good deal from CBS, right? It's hard to turn that down when you're close to retirement anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I would have loved it though if he played for Houston and really made them a powerhouse, because they would have been a powerhouse this year.
Well, I think Deshaun Watson is a wild card. If he's good, they're a top team.
Well, the thing is, though, you can't bank on a rookie being good their first and then
No, but as long as he's not Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, apparently he's not even going to start. He will start. No,
yeah, I don't know about right away, but he'll start.
He won't start in week 1, but he at some point is going to start for that team because they're going to be too competitive.
I bet you he does start week 1.
You think week 1?
Yeah, he's competing against Tom Savage. It's not like it's Ryan Fitzpatrick or something like that,
Savage
right?
Is real, okay. No.
Like he's not a great vet that's been around for a long time.
I'm not saying he is, but I just feel like there are so many coaches in the NFL, and I would definitely put Bill O'Brien in this category, that are very rookie quarterback does not start week 1 no matter what, right? He could have drafted
if guys like losing.
No, yeah. I agree. It's stupid.
Tom Savage is not an NFL quarterback.
Well, he was okay.
No,
he's a backup.
Not a good one.
Okay.
Matt Moore or Tom Savage? And I don't think Matt Moore's good.
Okay, Matt Moore, but he's a good backup, Matt Moore.
End of the argument.
That's not the end of it. You can't compare every backup quarterback to Matt Moore.
Yes, Matt Moore's the benchmark for backups.
Okay, but just because they're worse than Matt Moore doesn't mean they're not a good backup quarterback.
Tom Savage is not a good backup quarterback.
I mean,
he started games last year because Brock Osweiler was incompetent.
Yeah, that's fine, but he wasn't terrible, which is what you want.
He didn't help them.
Yeah, but he's a backup. He doesn't need to help them. That's not his job.
But they need someone that could help them. That's why Deshaun Watson.
I agree with you. I'm just arguing that he is an NFL level quarterback. He's a backup.
No.
Yeah, he has a career as a backup.
No.
Okay, I'm sick of you. No, I agree. Deshaun Watson should be starting week 1. I'm guaranteeing that he won't, but he will start at some point in the season. Yeah, no, if Deshaun Watson works out, especially this year, because they're actually a loaded team in Houston. Like, they might even be my pick to make the Super Bowl in the AFC, right? It's either them or New England, let's be honest.
Well, it's up to Deshaun Watson. Well, Pittsburgh's good.
I do not believe in Pittsburgh.
Oakland's good.
You know what? You're right. I didn't think of that. Oakland is a
There's a lot of, teams that if things go right, it's easy to pick New England because...
It's New England.
It's New England.
Yep.
Oakland is a sexy pick this year because they're good, right? They lost Derek Carr last year. I don't think they're going to win last year, but their defense got better. They have arguably the best offensive line in football. Kansas City has the talent. I just think they're gonna take a step back this year.
You called it with Arizona last year, so.
Denver's done.
Well, they don't have a quarterback.
Baltimore.
They drafted no, right?
No, they're done.
Oh, they have Paxton Lynch?
Paxton Lynch, yeah, he's not even working out for them.
Yeah, Paxton Lynch, yeah.
Baltimore, with the Flacco news, mind you, if they could get through this first 3 weeks or so without him, they'll be okay.
But is Baltimore a team that you...
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Buffalo?
Think... No.
Jets?
No. I think Miami's a good team. I don't know if they're Super Bowl, but they're a good team.
Yeah. Bengals?
No.
What? Browns? Did I say Browns already?
And then there's sneaky teams the Chargers aren't a bad team. They're just in a tough division.
Yeah.
The Titans are a sneaky team.
I like the Titans this year, man.
Jaguars are on the rise. The Colts, it depends on how far Andrew Luck could take them.
Jaguars are on the prowl, John.
Prowl.
Yeah. Yes. I like that word.
The NFC's better.
Yeah. Well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It's not... AFC's not that bad. If you think of it, we just need a lot of teams that, you have teams like...
I said a bunch of half-decent teams.
Yeah, but how many teams in the NFC have a realistic chance of winning the Super Bowl?
Okay. Basically, the whole NFC East.
The Eagles have a chance of winning the Super Bowl?
I like the Eagles. I don't think they have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
That's what I said, though. I said
okay, fair. Okay, so the Giants and Cowboys.
Yes.
The North... King of the North.
Stop. Packers? Yes.
Packers.
That's it. That's it.
But I like the Vikings. No, I'm sorry. I'm putting the Vikings in here.
Sam Bradford is not winning
the Super Bowl. I don't care. Their defense could win the Super Bowl. We saw that with the Broncos. This is a good defense. They just got banged up last year.
Very good defense.
And now with Dalvin Cook there, that's a good running back. They had no running back last year.
Yeah.
And Latavius Murray's there too. Not that he's great, but he's backup insurance for Cook. I like them. The Lions... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I like them too, and I can see them definitely making the playoffs or even winning a playoff game. But I just... No, I don't see them winning or going to the Super Bowl. But like you said, like we've seen good defenses take over before. So
I like them. The Lions are a pretty good team. I don't see them winning the Super Bowl.
even if they were great, I wouldn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl.
The South, I love the South. Any team could go to the Super Bowl there, except for the Saints.
Yeah,
The Falcons for sure.
Well,
I like the Bucks. I think they're on the prowl this year.
you don't have to say proud for Buccaneers, man.
I like.
They're on
the
boat, ship,
stealth
pirate,
mission.
yo ho, yo ho. Okay,
This is the tale
no, we are not going down that road.
No, they're on the upwards.
They're on the upwards.
Yeah,
okay, they're going up. Yes. They're trending upwards.
Yes.
I agree, but they're not ready this year to go to the Super Bowl.
Crazy things could happen. That's like they're a good team.
They are a good team. I agree.
The Panthers, that wouldn't shock me if they're
gonna have a bounce back here.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a bounce back here.
Then there's the West.
Seattle,
Seahawks for sure.
Always.
The Cardinals, they're another team that could have a bounce back.
They could.
Right? I don't think so, but they could.
I can see them slipping into the playoffs, especially with that coach.
No, but even and if they get in, they could go.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If Palmer's good this year.
It's all about him, actually.
Yeah, their defense is still good. It was good last year.
Yeah.
Their receivers kind of got banged up last year. David Johnson's a freak.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. If he plays well, that team is a contender, really.
Yeah.
Rams, God, no.
No, and Niners, no.
Oh, God, yeah, Niners, yeah.
So the NFC's better.
Yeah. I think...
Because the AFC, so we just listed, 7, 8 teams that could win it in the NFC?
Yeah, I wasn't counting, but
right?
Something like that.
Something like that. The AFC, the Patriots, the Raiders,
yeah,
Texans.
Yeah. If you want to count the Steelers, but I just don't.
Yeah, the Steelers. No, they have a chance.
I don't know.
And then there's a bunch of borderline teams. I want to say the Dolphins.
No. I think that the
Chiefs, I guess.
I think that the AFC has more teams that are borderline than the NFC, but the NFC has more top-heavy teams. Would you agree with that?
No.
Bro, because the entire AFC South is borderline.
Same with the NFC South.
Saints.
They're the Colts and Saints are the clones of each other. They're clones of each other.
Yeah, but at least the Colts.
No.
Okay. Hey, relax. All right. Yeah, I guess that's a fair point.
The AFC West is better than the NFC West for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC North. The NFC North is way better than the AFC North.
Okay, but we don't have to compare North
and then the NFC East is way better. I'm just saying, right?
Well, the NFC East is definitely better than the AFC.
So we got one wash, one AFC, and 2 NFCs. NFC wins.
It's not necessarily how you match it up, but okay.
It is.
That's fine. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Giants and Raiders in the Super Bowl. Come at me.
Dolphins and Vikings.
No. Oh, I would pay so much money to see it.
Eminem.
They played in the Super Bowl before, no?
Yes, they did. Yeah. And we all know won.
Yeah, Vikings. One of their 4 titles. No, they're 0 for 4.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Dolphins have played. They've lost the Redskins in the Super Bowl and beaten them. They've beat the Vikings. And they've lost to the 49ers. That's it. Yeah. Okay, we got way off topic there. We were breaking down the NFL. That wasn't great.
How the NFC is better than the AFC.
It's fair, whatever. But yeah, no, we need. I want to go into a full breakdown later on, when the season's closer to starting. But
it basically started for me.
It did not. Well, I'm getting ready for fantasy now. I'm excited. I need to pick up a fantasy magazine. It's the most exciting time of the year.
It is.
The anticipation for the draft.
What's better, Christmas or fantasy football draft?
Oh, fantasy football draft. Draft season is honestly, it might be my favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
As
especially
a sports geek,
being in 4 leagues.
Yeah.
Where you could kind of be creative with a few.
Yeah.
It's so good. And this year's exciting with our new belt.
Oh, and Jonathan over here has picked up a beautiful fantasy football title belt. Legitimately looks like a 1980s WWE championship belt.
It's 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's a legit one, right? 10 pounds. It's beautiful.
And with Buffalo Wild Wing hosting, this year.
It's gonna be really cool.
It's gonna
I'm
be
really
fun.
looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun.
We should live stream it for the podcast. We'll put it on the blog.
Oh, good God.
Live stream the entire draft.
All that trash talk. Poor Mark. He'll be exposed.
Mark, oh my God. Mark will have to crawl into a hole for a month. Poor bastard. Especially if I get to sit beside him. I haven't got to sit beside him in like 2 years. That's my favorite part of drafts, is sitting beside him and just railing on him.
Oh, death, taxes, and Mark not winning. He is basically the Cincinnati Bengals of fantasy football.
Yeah, he is. He really... No, because like he doesn't make the playoffs usually.
And when he does, he faces me.
No, he's more like the... No, he's more like the... What's the team that just never wins? Is he like the Browns?
No, he's not that pathetic.
He's like the
Not the Bills. Like the Jaguars. Like sometimes gets in and loses and... But it's cute and cuddly, like everyone's cheering for him when he gets in.
Of course.
Yeah. All of our fans, the millions and millions of our fans.
I feel like our fantasy league is the most paid attention to fantasy league in the world.
Way more paid attention to than like
ESPN,
the NFL.
NFL.
Michael Fabiano.
Who?
Michael Fabiano's analyzing us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his job really. It's just to break down our league. What are we talking
I
about?
wonder who's picking us. Who's picking this year in our league?
Wait, he picks us?
Yeah, like I think he's picking me to win this year.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just having a fantasy draft with us.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. That would be really unfair.
That got really weird.
Yeah. If he's smart, he's picking me. Although I had a bad season last year. Yeah, the smart guy bets on me to have a bounce back.
I'll be in the playoffs.
Actually, I'm going to be so busy this semester, it's going to be tough to keep up. I just got to draft well. I usually draft well.
I usually win.
No, you don't.
Make the playoffs.
Fine. Like, we have the same amount of wins, it doesn't matter. I usually win. Man.
Okay. 4 titles next year.
4! Oh, if you win 4 titles, I will legitimately spit shine the belt for you.
No one will ever be able to talk to me after that. If I win 4 titles.
Yeah, but you're not winning 4 titles.
I'd strut around like Vince McMahon walks into an arena.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think the world would be a much darker place if that happened.
Just picturing it.
Please don't. Alright, well that seems like as good of a point to end it as any. Thanks for coming on again, John. You can say something.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. Be sure to keep up with my blog. Once again, it's www.mediocresportstalk.wordpress.com. I'll be posting my picks for my predictions for the UFC 214 on Saturday, which I'm really excited about. It's a stacked card. I'll be posting it tomorrow. Today is Thursday. This probably won't go up until Friday, actually, so by the time you hear this, maybe it'll be going up on Saturday. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep staying active on it. I'm going to keep trying to get guests on the show. I don't really care who the guest is, to be honest. Like, it's just a lot less awkward if I do it with someone else instead of doing it by myself. But I will keep posting the podcast regardless once a week. So yeah, definitely come back next week for another episode of Mediocre Sports Talk.